price too high. I'm ready for a fight, never flight, but I wanna have fun all night. I could've took his girl if I wanted, but I ain't throwing dirty laundry in the public. I can always make something out of nothing, cause I know how it was when it wasn't. Falling ships and murder that she wrote. Combination, always drink and smoke. Apathy could help the way I roll, cause I'm selective on how much I show. Time will tell, don't show me what I know. Know your worth to only go for broke. You look good but act just like a hoe. You look good but I really want nothing but a good time. I ain't here for the fuck shit, paying no mind. If you're trying to show me substance, bring it on by. I really want nothing but a good time. I really can't stress this enough. I always gotta keep it at a buck. I rather have money than lust, but I'ma look twice if she got a big butt. I have a hard time with trust. Part-time love is a new fine drug. It's okay, I'ma fill my cup. It's okay, I'ma still turn up. Pull up, girl, to berry wine. You love the dancing, you love the fight. Pull up, girl, to berry wine. I love the dancing, I love the night. Pull up, girl, to berry wine. You love the dancing, you love the fight. Pull up, girl, to berry wine. I love the dancing. I really want nothing but a good time. I ain't here for the fuck shit, paying no mind. If you're trying to show me substance, bring it on by. I really want nothing but a good time. Why don't you just pull up, girl, to berry wine. You love the dancing, you love the fight. Pull up, girl, to berry wine. I love the dancing, I love the night. Pull up, girl, to berry wine. You love the dancing, you love the fight. Pull up, girl, to berry wine. I love the dancing, I love the night.
Welcome to another episode of Butterfly Blackout. I'm your host, Emily, along with Truth and Jeff. Truth, put that picture of the woman with the blonde hair. This is just for giggles. This is a trans. Now, listen to me very carefully. Okay? Y'all listening?
Okay.
Very carefully. This is a trans woman who sued a salon worker for refusing to wax her balls.
Well, I'm sorry. Wait. What?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Go back on that one.
I said listen
I had
carefully.
to look it up real quick myself. That's why I was taking so long over here.
Trans woman who sued salon workers for refusing to wax her balls loses court case.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm cool with that.
But she's a trans woman who still has balls, so she has male genitalia, male balls, and she's upset because they won't wax her.
This is where we play on words because she's still transitioning. Trans. She's not transitioned. So she still has, unfortunately, the male genitalia for her part right now. I'm assuming she went to, what do you guys call it? A wax? What's the professional name?
Oh, it's a wax.
Brazilian
It's just a
wax?
wax. It was okay, my bad. I was trying to be serious. No, honestly serious. I was no, for real. I was.
Okay,
I don't know
yes.
if it was like it's a vaginal, whatever it is. Yeah, they're looking for a vagina down there, not a ball and penis.
Well, those places don't do men anyway.
That's
So,
my point. That's my point. So when he goes in there with the dress on and they getting
They
to the
don't know
table,
if this is real, this is fake. Are you punking us? Like, what are we
yeah,
doing?
yeah, and you just
We
naked
don't
down
have
there. They're like,
money.
excuse
We don't
me.
have anything on the special for balls. So what do you want me to wax?
Yeah. I'm happy he lost because that is a lot.
That would have been a Pandora.
Yeah.
That was just for giggles. So the governor race starts today for voting, and President Obama allegedly came to Newark, Weequahic Park, to get voters rallied for Murphy. Yay! Anyway, so here's the thing. I had to think about this for a minute, and my issue is this. Phil Murphy, current governor of New Jersey,
Okay.
he is relying not on how well he's done the past 4 years to win a reelection. No, he is relying on President Biden, VP Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, and now former President. Do I say former
Still say
president, or do I still say president?
Yeah, you still say president.
President Obama, to help him rally the voters so he could win this reelection. Which, by the way, he is 6 points ahead of Jack Ciattarelli. Now, again, instead of relying on how well he's done for New Jersey, he's relying on all these big top people to help voters. Now, people will vote for him because of Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. Even though Kamala Harris is an alumnus of Howard, and Howard's not doing too great in the news. Anyway, so they're relying on Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, whom people haven't seen in forever, and now President Obama for the votes. So people will vote for them because you put them out there, right? Not because it's for the great of New Jersey. Because remember, at the end of the day, Kamala Harris goes back to Washington, D.C. Joe Biden goes back to Washington, D.C., a.k.a. Delaware, a.k.a. wherever else presidents go. We all know where Booker goes, but he's not here in Jersey, okay? Let's see. Obama is in a mansion at Martha's Vineyard. You see how you notice how the shelves are becoming bare? We don't have a lot of supplies, so people have been saying stock up because it's going to get a little heavy out there.
Yep.
Okay, so while we're still rubbing pennies together, trying to ration food, the people I just mentioned ain't got to do all that. But we do, but yet they want you to vote for Murphy. Now you got to ask yourself, why am I voting for Murphy? Because you told me to? Why does Murphy need you all to help him with the votes? Then again, Sheila Oliver, the lieutenant governor, sends out a tweet, or her minions sent out a tweet, basically trying to rally the voters. We need more voters. Didn't Biden win the presidency? Didn't this state of New Jersey turn blue? Now, if the state turned blue, you really shouldn't have a problem getting all your people to vote for you. Or do you have an issue? Now, Phil Murphy, you said that Jack didn't have anybody vouching for him, nobody endorsing him. Jack said he didn't need anybody to, endorse him. But, sir, you shouldn't have anybody endorsing you. It should have been a sweep. No issues. People love you. You're doing a great job in Jersey. So what are you voting for, people? Are you voting to stay the same, or are you voting for change? Are you happy rubbing two pennies together to make ends meet? Are you happy with the way the school systems go? Did you all get this in the mail? Let's read it. Who is most like Donald Trump? Yes, that's the one person I failed to mention. The Murphy train is also needing Donald Trump's help. Why? Because that's how he's going to get his votes. If he just throws out Donald Trump's name, it'll make you all run scared, run to the hills, run to the voting booth, and vote for Murphy. Are y'all cutting him a percentage of, by using his name to get your votes? I'm just asking. Does he get a cut from that? Who is most like Donald Trump of them all? It's Republican Jack Ciattarelli. If elected governor, Jack would take away health care for women and eliminate protections for people with pre-existing conditions. He voted against expanding Medicare and supported repealing the Affordable Care Act. Well, let's think about this for a second. I was talking to a small business owner, and that small business owner didn't have insurance. I said, well, honey, how come you don't have insurance? She said, because it's expensive and she couldn't afford it. So she tries very hard not to get sick. I said, that's still an issue? She said, yes. Well, also with the Affordable Care Act, you remember back in the day where if you didn't have insurance, they were going to tax you because you didn't have insurance. You were going to get penalized for it. But again, the minimum wage is what?
In New Jersey, $12.
In New Jersey, $12 an hour. And people are supposed to get insurance how and pay what? I'm sorry, what happened? Okay. Jack Ciattarelli would take away funding from our public schools and students. He voted against budgets that included funding for our schools. You mean the schools that are not doing so well? We're building this school, that school, this school, that school, which increases the taxes on the residents, which is what we've been complaining about, because we got so. I mean, obviously, this will be an issue because they just had last year or a couple years ago, they built the Sheila Oliver.
Oh,
Notice the
okay.
name?
Yes.
She got a school in her name,
Yes, she
right
did.
there in East Orange. Y'all feel me?
Mhm.
Okay, that's why that's important to them because they got schools named after them, right? But what about the residents? What about their taxes being raised, especially on schools that aren't even performing well? Why are we not taking our resources and going into those schools and fixing those schools so they're better? We got abandoned schools. Do y'all have abandoned schools out here? I know we do.
They usually tear them down in Bergen County after a while.
Okay, well, in Essex, we got schools, buildings that are abandoned.
Hmm.
Okay? So you're talking about not giving funding. Why would we want to fund schools that are performing poorly? Why are we funding schools with teachers who don't even have but 2 years in there? Why? Because their careers aren't really to be teachers. They have career aspirations to do other things.
Right.
Why are we funding schools when our children's test scores aren't above average? They even took out cursive writing, so they don't know how to read or write cursive. Okay? They can't find language teachers, so they're not speaking another language. All right? They barely, I had gym every single day. They only get gym maybe twice a week. Health is wealth. Gotta love it. What else they got? They have poor school lunches. Did you hear that in the news when they were talking about the school lunches? So you want them to fund what? I see, no, we need an overhaul. We need to go in, investigate to see what this money. All these schools get all this money. You hearing, you're a resident of wherever you are. Go log on and listen to your school board meetings. It's for you. You need to know. Especially when they talk about financials. Especially when they find out that they got $2 million sitting in the bank. Well, what you doing with the $2 million?
Yep.
Because the kids don't see it. So what you doing with the $2 million? Exactly. It's you who needs to start asking these questions. It's your neighborhood. Especially when a kid gets off the bus and he at the wrong school. What am I funding? Or a kid never makes it onto the bus. Kids don't have homework. Kids can't write. Kids can't spell. Kids can't speak. What are we funding? So are we going to have somebody be responsible, go in and do an overhaul and fix it? Okay, so say St. Barnabas School right here, they're not doing well. They're below zero. So what funding for what? I need to know why they're performing at a zero. I know those parents are happy. Why not make the parents happy? Oh, that's right. We're trying to remove the parents from everything. Never mind. All right. And Jack, if elected, all while raising the sales tax and your property taxes. Okay, so Jack wants to raise taxes, but Murphy, didn't you say? You said, because you said that if high taxes is a problem, then we are not your state. Then you made a bold promise not to raise any taxes because you got called out.
Yep.
So your defense is to say that he's going to raise taxes. Okay. But he's the one who brought up the whole taxes. He wants to lower taxes, not raise them.
Mm-hmm.
Because people in New Jersey are mainly concerned about their property taxes that you have not fixed yet. Now, are you going to be that governor that's going to wait 4 years after before you decide to fix something? Or are you going to, I'm sorry, you want us to be like California, right? So if you're voting for Murphy, you're basically voting for us to go to like $7 a gallon for gas and to kind of mirror what they're doing in California and mirror what they're doing in Australia. I mean, it is what it is, right?
Well, he's going to give you EV credits.
Now, if you want to vote for Murphy, You're protecting your health care. So you're really not protecting your health care. You're protecting health care for the trans community. If you're voting for Murphy, you're fully funding our public schools, including the ones that perform so poorly. They get all this money to do what? You need to ask yourselves as residents. And if you're funding public schools, that means your property taxes are going to go up. And some of y'all can't even afford to pay your mortgage. And he's gonna make New Jersey more affordable for the middle class. The middle class is who?
Oh, the 60 to 177,000 makers.
These are the same people that can't afford what they got right now. They're the ones rubbing the two pennies together. So he's making all these promises. Mind you, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg is still on his maternity leave during this crisis where we have all of our ships at sea. They can't come in. We ain't got no supplies. Your little babies ain't getting a Christmas because they can't get what you want. But if you want something, you better get it now because you ain't going to have time to get it. Also, while you outside shopping, every week you go in there, take a little at a time, start stocking up because guess what? It's going to get real ugly. And then they'll blame it on Trump because that's the best way to do it. Just blame everything on Trump because Trump is the problem. President Trump is the one who started all this. Okay, when are we going to hold people accountable for anything? Because we never do. We always blame somebody else. Every administration that's in office, because Trump did the same thing. He blames Obama. Obama blamed
Bush.
Bush blamed Clinton. Clinton blamed Bush. It's a
Yep.
pattern. It's all we ever do.
Yep.
We never, ever take responsibility for ourselves, or they take responsibility and say, listen, it's not going well. Look at the border. He was in the press secretary meeting. They even asked, when was Biden going to go to the border? How are you now? I want to say President Trump went to the border multiple times, especially talked to the border patrol agents to get an idea of what is really going on. Biden went in 2008. Now you're good with math. It's 2021. How long ago he went to the border?
Oh, my Lord. 8, 10, 11 years.
2008 years border ain't 2021 years border. And also New Jersey, just to remind you, many of the migrants that came across the border have been flown into New Jersey. We just don't know where they are. But if you've seen one, please let us know. Send us a picture. We would love to know where they're at. Now, Wendy Williams. Has anybody heard from Wendy?
No.
She's supposed to be sick, isn't she?
No.
Wendy got a mouth. I don't care how sick Wendy is. Wendy can talk. Wendy, this is my SOS to you. Everybody talking for you, but ain't nobody heard from you. I need to know that you okay. Blink once, blink twice, call somebody, send out a tweet, because I saw the movie. I know how they did you before. I'm wondering if this is a repeat. So, Wendy Williams, we need to hear from you. Now, we got a whole bunch of people covering your show because you're not well. We need to physically see and hear from you.
And they're doing a bad job, too.
Now, huh?
They're doing a bad job.
Because everybody wants to be Wendy instead of just bringing your own personality. You don't have to be Wendy. You're filling in for Wendy. You don't have, like they do for Ellen. Why do they fill in for Ellen?
Because she's retiring. This is the last season. So they're trying to pick the next person as they go through it.
Oh, is that what they're doing?
Yeah.
Why can't they just let it go?
Well, she wants to get paid for this season. So, I mean, you get the
How are you
background.
paying someone and they're not there? You're not doing your show. If this is your last season, you should be there every single
She
day.
still
See,
owns it.
Ellen ain't
She
built
still
like Wendy.
own it.
That's
She
why
still
I need
owns it.
Wendy.
She still own it. That's it.
I don't care. I mean, I'm not looking to see different co-hosts every single day. But with that said, Wendy, we need to hear from you. Yes, you have a lot of people. Stop trying to be Wendy and be yourself. Bring your own personality to the show and just do what you're doing to help us out. That's it. Because I'm not going to want to watch a show with Michelle Visage, Leah Remini, and all these other people. I really don't care how you guys got on a plane. Like, it means nothing
That
to me.
Leah
And
Remedy was horrible.
I heard that Nick Cannon's show is not doing well with ratings.
Well, surprise, surprise. What you
Why?
expected from him? What you expected from him?
I don't
Wilding
think
out?
everybody needs a talk show. I think if you're, or let me take that back. you can have a show. I don't think it needs to be a syndicated talk show to do. Like, it's weird to me when other celebrities interview other celebrities because you're really just interviewing your friends. But I don't think I really want to see that. I miss Ricky Lake. Okay? Who was the other guy from the 90s? Richard
Bay?
Richard Bay.
That was Jersey.
Y'all remember the Richard Bay show.
That was
okay?
Jersey, yeah.
Yes. I miss Phil Donahue. Okay? What's the one with the glasses, the red glasses?
Oh, the lady. I know you talk Sally Jesse Raphael.
I miss her. Okay? Those were talk shows. People ran home, 5 o'clock. Yo, I gotta catch Ricky Lake. Okay? Those were talk shows. I miss to have no-name people. Shoot, I even miss the Oprah Winfrey Show, okay? Because she did it right. These new people now, it's like, okay, so you got the Kelly Clarkson Show. I don't need another show just like that. That's my problem. You're giving me the same show. Everybody wants to do the same thing. So Wendy's coming out telling everybody's business because you already put it out there. She's just making sure everybody heard what you put out there. So now you all want to do the same thing. No. Wendy Williams, where are you? Speak up. Let us know that you are okay or if you're being held against your will. I don't know who you got. Yo, and whoever's with her, either let your son say something. He's of age. Let your son speak out and say that you're okay. I'll take that. Everybody, let your brother. Y'all fighting? Let us know that he's still fighting with you. Okay? Then I'll know that you okay. All right? But something's not right. It's not just me. Something's not right. Now, Netflix. Netflix versus the community. I shortened it because that's what we're going to call them, the community. So the community walked out of their jobs at Netflix because they mad about Dave Chappelle. Pay attention to this, people. They're mad about the Dave Chappelle stand-up comedy special on Netflix because they were offended. But they sat down on their couches with popcorn, a little fizz drink, and they watched Cuties. Now, Netflix, you should have fired them for that. Okay? They watched these little girls prance around half naked. Little girls between the ages of 11 and 13. So, to the community, this is a message for you. You're mad about Dave Chappelle and you said nothing about Cuties? Your issues are voided. We do not care. I don't care how upset you are. You could be upset for life, especially when Netflix airs this. Cuties. Look at the photo.
I've seen Cuties, yes.
You see that? You see them half-naked girls? You're okay with that?
Well,
Would I be wrong if I called y'all pedophiles?
well,
Okay.
That's not them. Everybody cares when it's only them. That's his
so
point.
you only care when it's all you. So
That's
should
their
I
point.
be upset
Now-
and call for your resignation if you ever laughed at a joke by Dave Chappelle and he used the N-word?
Now, that's a good point. If you laughed at the Chappelle show, you want to get out of there? There you go. That's a good point. Yeah, man.
Netflix. To all those people who wanted to protest equates to resignation. Thank you very much. Have a good day. All right. We're going to go back to the new Superman. So the new Superman we talked about, Superman's son is coming out as bisexual. So CNN got a quote from Dean Cain. Dean Cain is an actor, and he played Superman in the 90s version called TV series called Lois and Lane. I'm sorry, Lois and Lane. Lois and
I was
Clark.
sitting there like, well, Lois and Lane. She had her own joint. Yeah, Lois and Clark.
It was Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, which I loved that entire, I loved it. I had a crush on him, too. He looked good as Superman. He looked good as Clark Kent. It was him and Terry Hatcher. They were perfect together. Their chemistry was flawless. They were perfect. And I even took time to watch it again. But that's neither here nor there. And if you do get a chance, I would suggest watching it because it really was good for TV. It was good. Um, it ended. I don't feel like I got complete with the ending now.
I don't even know how it ended. It's so long ago.
Well, they brought
A
it
baby
back.
was left on her doorstep.
They brought it back. And then
They
it
brought
didn't
what
work.
back? That
They
show?
brought that back, and then it didn't work out again. So what happens a lot of times, they try to leave the door open for, okay, let's let it die down for a little bit, and then we'll bring it back.
Well, that was no. So they had a baby was left at her doorstep. So eventually she knew that Clark was Superman, and then they fell in love and got married. And then there was a time where an accident happened and she lost her memory.
Mm-hmm.
And then she got her memory back, and then the people from his old planet came down, and he was supposed to marry some other woman. It was a hot mess. But then somebody left a baby on her doorstep, and she said the baby was theirs, which was weird because Superman can't have kids.
With a human being,
Right.
allegedly. Yeah.
But whatever. I love Dean Cain. I will always love Dean Cain. He's also good on Lifetime movies, but he plays the bad guy. But I love, like, he's one of those 90s actors that we can't get enough of. Like, I could tell you over and over again, the best actors come from the 90s. These newer actors, no. The best actors come from the 90s because they know how to do it. Especially the ones that had the shows from the early 90s, and then it's like 2021, and they can come and reprise their role like nothing happened. Other people can't do that. Only 90s actors can do that. I'm just saying. It's fact. Well, anyway, so he said, basically, he was on Fox and Friends, and he was talking about the character of John Kent, written as the son of Clark Kent and Lois Lane, being in a relationship with another man in the forthcoming edition. Dean Cain said, they said it's a bold new direction.
Mm-hmm.
I say they're bandwagoning. He didn't think that it was bold or brave or some crazy new direction. If they had done this 20 years ago, perhaps this would have been considered bold or brave. But brave would have been having him fight for the rights of gay people in Iran, where they'll throw you off of a building for the offense of being gay. Now, in the 5th issue of the DC Comics series, Superman, son of Kal-El, John Kent becomes involved with Jay Nakamura, a male reporter.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, what do you think of his,
Comment.
yeah.
I think he not necessarily struck a nerve, but he made a really good point. They are bandwagoning. Being any part of the community now, is going to get you some notoriety in some form, in which they like. They need it. Comic books need that, definitely. TV shows, it sells, views sells. But at the same time, it's nothing new. See, because if he did have them defending something that was outside of the U.S., showing a whole different thing towards people that we consider terrorists, that's a real big change over there. Oh, my God, you're one of us. You're part of the community, so we're going to fight for you, too. Why aren't they out there fighting for the thing in Afghanistan? Let's take it back to Netflix. How come y'all didn't walk out when they put up all those, what do you call it? The videos, not the videos. What do they call them? Documentaries. Thank you. Documentaries. Documentaries of Afghanistan, but they only talk about the woman not being schooled, but you still have homosexuals in there that, need to be represented too, and the rest of the community. Yeah, walk out on that. I feel you. You can't just stand for one. You got to stand for all. Am I wrong? I got you.
Well, BLM co-founder or ex-BLM co-founder Patrice Cullors has been appointed as a Los Angeles County Commissioner.
6 figures.
Yeah, be quiet. Sit in his office.
Actually, it seems like they made close to 6 figures. The most is $94,000 per year.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
This is probably one of her 4 titles that she's getting that amount of money from.
She was one of the co-founders of the Black Lives Matter organization, which recently was caught up in a scandal regarding her multiple luxury properties, and basically stepped down as an executive director back in May. She will serve on behalf of the 2 million residents of the 2nd District, stated the LA County Supervisor, Holly Mitchell. Patrice has demonstrated her understanding of this and has experience using various mediums of art and community engagement to inspire and create change. Patrice shares my commitment to equity and justice and will use her creativity to make arts and culture more accessible for the residents throughout the second district. Colors responded by saying, I'm thrilled to continue to weave my roles as artist and organizer where I can continue to support Black creatives. I have a ton of to-dos on my list. I won't share them now, just stay put and watch as they unfold. I truly believe Black creatives are the backbone of our society and community. We are often underrepresented and under-resourced, but I plan on advocating for the full support of Black creatives across my beautiful ass cities, what she wrote. Her domain will include the historically Black sections of Watson, Compton, as well as Koreatown and Inglewood.
Stuff right in that corner.
Black Lives Matter. Have we gotten justice for Trayvon Martin? Have we gotten justice for many of the people, Black men, that have been slain, or are we only focused on trans lives? I'm just asking.
That's a good
No
question.
answer? We don't know? Okay.
Depends on your area. Go ahead.
All right. So, I don't know if I should touch this. Let me go with this first. Just to break this up a little bit. Real raw news. Now, I told you all before that I found a site that's been saying all these weird things, and I just thought I'd add some more weirdness to it.
Okay.
So, I don't know if y'all ready for this, but it says Colin Powell committed suicide.
Wait, read that again?
You heard what I said the first time. Powell, who has suffered from multiple myeloma, a blood cancer, committed suicide early Monday morning. He died after consuming a bottle of prescription sleeping pills. Now, they want you to believe that he died from COVID complications. His wife called 911. She said that the bottle was almost full because Colin had filled it only a few days ago. 911 routed the call directly to the White House, which has never been heard of. No paramedics, no ambulances showed up at his home in Virginia, only the FBI. 2 FBI special agents and an agency forensic pathologist arrived at the Powell's residence shortly after 4 a.m. They found Mrs. Powell in a state of hysteria, screaming and crying at the top of her lungs as she hovered over her late husband's corpse. After a thorough examination of the bedroom, one agent found what appeared to be a suicide note on the floor beside Powell's bed. It reads, I love you always, Alma, you and the children, but I am old and sick, and I know they'll find me soon like they have the others. I don't want my legacy to end that way. I pray you can all forgive me for what I've done and now what I no longer have to do. The man in the glass tower must not rise. I place myself in the Lord's hands. I'd rather he judge me than them. That's what part of the note said.
Okay.
Powell, who had identified as a Republican, was a rhino, Republican in name only. He was an outspoken opponent of Donald J. Trump, and he had endorsed both Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden's bids for presidency. The FBI made a call directly to Kamala Harris, and she told them they'd have to spin his death to make it appear as if he died from COVID. The FBI is a tool of the deep state. The administration and the CDC have been instructing health institutions and city and county coroners to falsify death certificates to make it seem as if every human fatality over the last 2 years was a result of COVID-19. Now, that part I do believe because remember, everybody at the time was dying and it was COVID. And somebody finally asked the question, is anybody dying from anything else? So nobody's dying from heart cancer, heart disease, cancer. We just have no more of that. And it seemed like no matter what, if you had a touch, if you were just positive, it's COVID.
Right.
Oh, it's COVID. And COVID had nothing to do with whatever you went in there for, but it was COVID. Why? Because there's always money. Follow the money. There's always money in it. For some hospitals, if they have a lot of COVID deaths, they get more money, get more resources.
Right.
Pay attention. Because remember, they had a lot of ventilators. Then you saw the ventilators being dumped because they didn't need it anymore. Surprise, surprise. So what do you think? Do you think he committed suicide, or do you think?
No. That's wacky. That whole thing is wacky. I was like, who wrote
Why?
this?
It's real. They didn't shut it down, so there must be some truth to it.
Wait. It's real because they didn't shut it down? They probably didn't go looking for that. Nobody's like, anybody believe in this one? Come on. Nah, I don't know. That's just way out of it.
Conspiracy is fear, so it's a good thing. The more you fear stuff, you start buying stuff, you start
True.
panicking.
That's true.
You know, we need, it might be put out by the government.
Yo, think about that. Let's go down that road just for a quick minute. What if you invested in CMOS in 2019?
How do you invest in CMOS?
The market.
You went out, brought the market wherever they get it from, however they get it. You sat there, did your research, said, you know what, I'm gonna pull up 10 grand, and I'm gonna
Put some
buy
stocks in.
everything wherever they get it from. And then here this come, and they like, get CMOS, and it saves the natural way. You be a billionaire, cause you selling that for top dollar. Same thing the pharmaceutical companies do.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Oh, you need AIDS?